Hello again, everybody. Harry Boxer, the technical trader at techtrader.com. It's Wednesday, the 15th of February, and these are the charts of the day. Well, a big day on Wall Street with a strong finish. Lots of stocks we follow, and some of our day trades did great today. Let's take a look at Airbnb, which had great earnings. Blew out above a triple top today with a breakaway gap. And with that kind of move on volume of 33 million, we often see the extension. Right now, I'd be looking for something around the 150 range and 160. We'll see what happens beyond that. AI, well, after we talked about the retracement near the 20 level, it reached 2041. That's where the trend line comes in and a rising VWAP and moving averages. So it did explode off of that. Volume picked up, and not tremendously so, even though 26.7 million traded. I would have liked to see more volume than that. Anyway, if there is a follow through, the targets are 28.5 and 31 or near it. BHC, that's Bausch Health, spin off from Bausch & Lomb. Popped out of a base today with volume exceeding 33.4 million shares. Usually coming out of a base with that kind of volume, we get an extension, and your target is 11. Carvana, after the explosive move a couple weeks ago, it pulled back in a three-wave corrective, tested the trend line, and today popped. Today's pop was $1.93 or 18%, 31.7 million shares. If we do get an extension on this one, 16.25 and 19 are targets. DoorDash, coming out of a base today with an explosive pop as well, moving from 60.84 to 68.77, nearly 8 points, finishing right near the high at 68.37, up 676, an 11% gain. Volume 8.7 million was the biggest volume since November. It looks like an extension on this one would get you to mid-70s and then mid-80s for targets. Emergent Biosolutions, EBS, exploded as well. 1366 to 1818 before finishing at 17 or trading at 17 after hours, up 373, a 28% gain. Looking for a follow through over the next few days and weeks to get it up to 21.2. GNRC, big drop. Now, this was a long runner that went from the 20s, 30s, and 40s all the way up to nearly 500. The actual high on reversal day, 524. In a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave decline from 524, the December low of last year was 88. Subsequently, it's turned around and run, and today it pops 941 or 7.5%. 4.7 million traded, the biggest volume on an update that I can see since back in 2020. So perhaps a significant session with big volume. Although it's near the top of the channel, I'm looking for an extension and a gap fill to 155 and 168. HIMX, large inverse head and shoulders, breakaway and pullback. I believe this is a swing. Today, a big engulfing reversal day from 761 to 839. It finished at 839, up 46 cents, about a 6% gain. Looking to me like it wants to go to the channel top near 9. Beyond that, 990.10. INMD popped today, an old swing of ours that just never got going. Well, it did today, spiking 378 or 10%. Volume picked up to 4.2 million. It's volume coming through a breakaway day, or we believe it might be. Coming across this line, I would now target about 44, and then 50, and then 55. IREN exploded. The declining top sign was taken out a while back and then retested, and then spiked right off of that with big volume the last 2 days. Follow through targets would get me to about 5.5, 3/4, and then 7. Mara, as Bitcoin rallies, Mara did too. Mara bounced the last couple of days from retesting the 50 near 585 to make it up to today's $8 tag. Next target would be a test of the recent high at 9.5, and then near 11. 9.5, 10 3/4. MGNI also snapped back from a falling channel or flag. Today's pop took us from 1180 to 1347. It finished 1333, up 151, almost 13%. Now I'm looking for a pop that takes out the recent high of 13 3/4 and makes it up to 15 and 17. NRDS coming out of a base pattern that took more than a year to develop. This one's been really running of late from December when it got down to 845 to today's high at 1808. And the spike today took it from 14 to 18. Looking really strong here as a breakout. I would now look for a follow through to get this into the 1920 zone for starters. Paramount Global popped out, pulled back, and today's snapback. This looks like a completed base break out of the declining chops line, and we're on our way to new highs, 27.75 and 30 targets. PATH swing trade path, a software stock. Looks like it popped out of a falling channel today as well. And you can see the pop there. 78 cents or 5%. Your target would be a retest of the 18 level, then a following run into the 21.2 zone. Palantir with a good report today. They spiked up from 841 to 1028, finished 1022. Up 98 cents or 10.6%, 157 million shares traded. Heavy option trading as well. Your target 11.5 going forward. Rblx. Today had a huge breakaway gap on strong report and ran to close at the highs for the day, going away 45.08, just within a few cents of the high, up 9.41 or 26.4%. There is a little bit of resistance ahead, but I think the stock hits 53 and then 58, 59. ROKU, inverse head and shoulders perhaps, but in any case, a falling wedge broke out today with a breakaway gap, and a pop of 12%. Volume picked up to 16.8 million. I'm now looking for a retest of this high at 66.75 and then 74. SI popped 2 days in a row now with big volume. Today's pop took it from 17.19 to 22.50. Finished just pennies off the high, up 4.96, a 28% gain. The recent high at 24.70 might afford some resistance. We get through that, we're looking for 30. SKYT had a follow through to yesterday's session where we traded it with another pop of $1.72 or 12%. Looks like it broke a clean breakout here. Might be some resistance right where it is, but if we do get a follow through, it's 18.5 to 21. Trade desk, big breakaway gap and a huge move of 16.38 or 33% today. Mine was a very strong 33.4 million. This has completed the base pattern. There is some resistance, probably around 67.75 just ahead. If we get through that, we might be looking at 75, 77. And finally, like two more. UPST, upstart with a big pop today, jumping to 474 at 28%. A big up bar off the low, as you can see, and a breakaway gap to boot. This may have completed a basing pattern, but it's going to have to get up through 25.5 to do that. That's your next target. And finally, W, or Wayfair, which is a swing trade here, ran up and pulled back hard to fill this gap and test support. Today bounced back 522 or 10%. Now I'd be looking for 60, 61, and then as high as 70, 72. Let's look at the hot stocks at detectrader.com. Good night, everybody.